Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Sneha for CELPIP and IELTS, and in today's video we are going to begin the discussion of IELTS listening. So if you have been following my previous videos, you must have seen that so far I have discussed the reading question types of IELTS exam. So be it GT, be it academic, we have discussed literally all the types of question that can be there in the reading module. Today we are going to begin the discussion of the listening module. So we'll see the overall format of this module, and then we are also going to practice some of the question types that are asked in this module. So without any further delay, let's begin the discussion. Now, talking about the format of this listening module, so in total you have 4 parts in this module. So you have part 1. Now this part 1 is a conversation. Conversation means there will be number of speakers involved. Then there is part 2, which is a monologue, which means there will be only one speaker in this section. Then we have part 3, where again it's a conversation. That means there will be more than one speaker. And then we finally have part 4, which is again a monologue. And the difficulty level of this module, this is progressive. That means part 1 is the easiest one and part 4 is generally the most complex one. Now talking about the question number, so we have 10 questions in each part, as you can see. So we have 4 parts, 10 questions in each part. That means in your listening section you have 40 questions in total. And the speed of each of the parts, speed means conversation, speed of the audio, speed of the conversation, that varies in each part. So part 1, that is generally slower in speed as compared to part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 4 is usually the fastest one. So you know, when we talk about listening section, we have audios, right? So audios are played, and on the basis of those audios you have to answer certain questions, right? So part 1 is going to be the easiest. It's going to be a conversation which is slower in speed as compared to part 4, which is the most complex one, where the audio, it is kind of the fastest one, right? However, the number of questions, these are same in each of the parts, and the types of audio that we'll hear in each part are these. So part 1, that will be related to a very general everyday conversation. Part 2 is again a very general everyday conversation. Part 3 is more academic type of conversation between speakers, and part 4 is again a monologue, which is academic in nature. So these are the topics which are more academic in part 2, part 4. On the other hand, in part 1, part 2, you have kind of very general topic, very general discussion going on. So this is how your listening module is conducted. Now talking about further more points about this listening section. So in listening section, whether it is academic IELTS or GT IELTS, your listening section, that remains same. There is literally no difference between the two. The duration of this section, it's going to be around 30 minutes. It's going to be roughly 30 minutes long. It again depends on the audio. And you know this thing, we just saw that there are 4 parts in which we have 40 questions in total, and each part has 10 questions. Now this is something that's really important in listening section of IELTS. All the recordings in your IELTS listening part, these are going to be played only once. That means you cannot control the audios here. You cannot do anything with the audios. Once the audio begins, you have to, maintain the pace with the audio. You have to be in synchronization with the audio, right? If once you mess it up, like, your whole part is gone. So you really need to maintain the pace with the audio. That is something that's very much required in this module of listening. And then this 4th point says that before the audio is played, before the main content is played, you are given some time to read through the question. So what happens is, before each part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, a few seconds are given to you just to read through the questions of that particular part. And only, after you have gone through the questions, after those few seconds, only the audio of that part is played. So that is one thing about this listening module. And again, it's a very important point that the answers in the recording appear in the chronological order of the questions. So the order of the questions and the order of the information in the audio, these two orders are same. That means the information related to question number 1 will appear first in the audio, only then you will find information related to question number 2, and after that only you will have information related to question number 3, and so on. All right, so first you will only focus on question number 1. Once that is solved, then only you try to search for the information related to question number 2, and so on. So these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind for the listening section. Now, talking about the scoring criteria of this part. Now the scoring in this part, it's absolutely based on the number of answers that you mark correct. So we know that we have 40 questions in total. Out of these 40 questions, if you mark 39 to 40 of them correct, you're going to get band 9. If you get 37 to 38 correct, you're going to get band 8.5. If you mark 35 to 36 correct, you're going to get band 8, and so on. So depending on the number of correct answers, you're going to get the respective band. And these are some really important points to note. Now for each correct answer, you get 1 mark. That means if you mark 40 questions correct, then you're going to get 40 marks. If you get 39 questions correct, then you're going to get 39 marks. However, there is no negative marking for incorrect answers. That means that if you get any answer incorrect, for incorrect answers, there is no negative marking. If you get any answer incorrect, no point is going to be deducted for that particular question. And that is why I will advise you people that you attempt each and every question in your listening module. Because if you, get any question correct, even, by taking a wild guess, you fetch 1 point, right? And in case you didn't get it correct, you do not lose anything, right? So that is why I will advise that you people should attempt each and every question in IELTS listening. All right, then as we saw, so the scores out of 40, these are eventually converted to your IELTS band scale, right? Then scores are reported in whole and half bands. This thing again, it's very much clear that you have scores like 9, 8, 7, and you also have scores in half bands like 8.5, 7.5, 6.5, and so on. Alright, so let us move on to actually practicing the types of questions that are there in listening part 1. So in listening part 1, very often you will find questions related to your form completion types. So this is one type of question that are there in the listening part, and it's usually there in part 1. So in part 1 of listening, you'll always find, there will be kind of a form in which you will have to fill some information. The information that's required, these are actually the questions that you're supposed to answer. So there'll be an audio related to this form completion where there will be some blanks, some spaces, which you have to fill with answers according to the audio. So it's always, not always, but yeah, most of the time it's going to be form completion type in part 1. Let us see how these questions look like. So here you can see that this is part 1, right? It is question number 1 to 5. This is part 1, and it's kind of a form that's given, right? Why am I calling it a form? Because you can clearly see the type of information that it requires: name, address, email, postcode, right? So most of the time you will have this type of form completion in your part 1 in listening. And again, here, since you are not given any options for these questions, like these are question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are no options given to you. So what happens is that you have to read the instruction very carefully, because you have to fill the words by yourself. So you have to read the instruction, you have to follow the instruction very carefully. Again, you already saw this thing in reading section as well, where we discussed that, if we do not follow instruction, even if our answer is correct, it's going to be marked wrong. For example, let's say the instruction very clearly says that you can only fill one word, and let's suppose the answer was car, but instead of writing car, you wrote a car. So even if your answer is correct, it would be marked wrong. So you have to follow the instructions very carefully. The instructions over here say no more than 3 words and or a number. So this was this type of instruction. It was there in the reading section as well, right? We already discussed it over there. So these answers, they can be 3 words, they can be 3 numbers, or they can be combination of words and numbers, but the maximum number of words or numbers can be 3, not more than that. All right, so this is the instruction, and now I'm going to play the audio for you for this part. And in this audio, first you will hear some very clear instruction related to listening part 1. Let's do it.
Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a staff member from Gaia's Guardians and a man who wants to do something to protect the environment. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
So here the audio, it very clearly says that what this information is going to be about, and then it says that you will get some time to read the questions 1 to 5. So now you have to utilize this time very wisely. Just look at the type of information that you're going to focus on in the audio. So first there will be something related to frequency of newspaper collection, then there will be a name mentioned, then there will be an address, then I have to focus on email, and then I have to focus on postcode. So the seconds that you're given to read through the questions, you should actually use those seconds very wisely. Just look at the type of the information that you're going to focus on and in what order, so that when the audio is played, you exactly know what you have to focus on. All right, so let's solve the questions.
You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first. Hello, how may I help you?
Well, I've been seeing these yellow boxes in front of a lot of houses in my neighborhood. Just wondered what they were for. I noticed your phone number on all of them, so I called. Could you tell me about your business?
We do recycling, but we're not a business. Gaia's Guardians is a non-profit group. We encourage recycling as a way of protecting the environment.
The woman says that they encourage recycling as a way of protecting the environment. So, recycling has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hello, how may I help you?
Well, I've been seeing these yellow boxes in front of a lot of houses in my neighborhood. Just wondered what they were for. I noticed your phone number on all of them, so I called. Could you tell me about your business?
We do recycling, but we're not a business. Gaia's Guardians is a non-profit group. We encourage recycling as a way of protecting the environment.
I don't know. I mean, it is a good idea, but I really don't read the newspaper every day or anything.
And we don't come collect newspapers every day. In fact, we only do pickups every other week.
Oh, well, then maybe I could help.
Right, so here what did the audio say? The audio very clearly said that they do not do pickup of newspapers every day. In fact, they do it every other week. So for this question, I'm so sorry for that. So for this question, frequency of newspaper collection, your answer should be every other week. Right, so this was the frequency of newspaper collection that the lady very clearly said, and you have to follow the instruction, no more than 3 words. I have written only 3 words. Right, so this is how you solve. Let's now focus on some name that would be mentioned. Let's do it.
I mean, in my neighborhood, there's too much rubbish lying around everywhere. I'd like to help out, I guess.
That's great, sir. You're doing the right thing. Okay, I need to get your contact information. What's your name, please?
Peter Wisrow.
Peter, how do you spell your last name? Wisrow?
No, actually, it's Wisrough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible speller.
You're a good speller. It's just that my family are terrible pronouncers.
You're quite the card, Peter. Oh.
So here there was the information related to this person name, and he very clearly said that his name was Peter Wisrow, right? So Peter, and then he even spelled it out, right? So while he was spelling, the lady said it's Wisrow, but then he corrected the lady and said it's Rough. So you have to write the correct information, right? And now we are going to focus on the next information, which is related to address.
Now, what's your address?
Number 168 Bridge Road. That's here in London. How about if I have any questions?
I'm sending you a...
So here the lady asked about the address and the man said it's 168 Bridge Road. So you'll be writing 168 and after that you have to write Bridge Road. Right? Again, you're following the instruction. There is one number and 2 words. Total number of words and numbers are 3. Right? Let's look at the next information, which will be related to email.
Of our booklet too. The booklet has our phone number and our email address, helpline@blackcat.com. That's HELPLINE at BLACKCAT.com. But I nearly forgot to up.
Then the lady is very clearly spelling out the complete email information. What did she say? She said it was Black Cat. Sorry, not Black Cat, my bad. It was helpline at blackcat.com. So she very clearly spelled it out, right? So this was the information related to email. Now let us look at the last information, which will be related to postcode. Let's do it.
What's your postcode?
BS97PU.
PS97BU?
No, that's B as in boy, S9, 7P as in Peter, U.
So again, the man very clearly pronounced the postcode. That was BS97PU, and he said B as in ball. So BS97P as in Peter and U, right? So many times, the pieces of information that you're searching for, those will be very clearly pronounced, so that there is no error when you're writing the information as your answer. All right, so this is how you're going to solve part 1 of listening most of the time. So this time I solved it with you. Now I'm going to play one more question of similar type, and this time we're going to solve it in one go. Let's do that. All right, now, so look at the instructions very carefully. No more than no more than two words and or a number. This is the instruction. These are the questions for you. All right, and now I'm going to play the audio. Let's do it.
This recording is copyright. This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to part 1. You will hear a woman asking questions to a man about a holiday home she wishes to rent for the weekend. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Good morning, this is Ryan.
Good morning. Is this the correct number to get some information about holiday homes for rent?
Certainly. We have just resumed our work as the holiday season is back. How may I help you?
I am looking for a splendid holiday, away from the city, as it has been a long time since we went for a short weekend getaway.
In that case, you have come to the right place. We are known to deliver exactly what our holiday seekers want. Before moving any further, let me take down a few details which will help us to find some suitable options for you.
Sure, I would like to...
First, let me take your details down, and once we have the options ready based on your requirements, we will send them for you to choose the one that suits you.
Oh, all right, that sounds great.
I would require your full name. That's the first thing in the form.
It's Shayana Kapoor. Kapoor.
That's an Indian last name. Are you from India?
Well, I was born and brought up here, but yeah, my family is originally from India. I visit it quite often. Have you ever been to India?
Well, not yet, but I would love to. It is one of the top countries to visit on my bucket list. Coming back to the form, I need to make a note of your job.
I work as a dentist here at the Bradcaster Health Centre. Do you need any of my husband's details?
Not at the moment, just the callers. Have you thought about any date? We need to check the availability of the property.
Well, it was difficult to finalise one, as both my husband and I work. He wanted April 4th, and I was certain about April 11th. So in the end, we chose a different weekend that starts April 25th.
That usually happens considering each other's schedules. So, only the two of you would be going?
Not really. I have 2 children. I wish I had someone to keep them under their care, but my little one is just 2, so I decided to take them along. Therefore, the 4 of us would be on this trip. Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
And now, coming to the most important aspect, what kind of property are you looking for? These requirements help us in filtering out a lot of properties that do not suit your needs.
I understand. Although there was a discussion and we had our own preferences, a mutual decision of a villa for this weekend getaway was achieved.
Okay, please go on. I am noting down your points on the form.
Great. The property has to be just by the beach, so there is a good view of the ocean, and please ensure private access to the shore. My elder son particularly wants this. And yes, the property must have a minimum of 3 bedrooms. My son wants his own space. I guess he needs some time off from the crying and screaming of his younger sister.
Certainly. We must take care of everyone's needs. After all, he is on holiday too.
Indeed. One last thing. Can we expect a kitchen? I am not looking for a well-equipped kitchen, but at least something basic with a stove or a refrigerator.
Most of these properties have this facility, so yeah, there are chances that you would get one. You shouldn't worry about this. I have put these requirements on the form. Is there anything else that I should make a note of?
Yes. No. I am sure I have shared all that we need.
Great. We are nearly done then. Please share your contact number and email address, where details of the properties can be shared.
Oh, I shall give my husband's number. Wait, no, he is busy most of the time and he won't get a chance to check the properties well. Please take mine. It is 07979 56432.
And the email address?
My husband's would be the best. It is drdavik@gmail.com. That's DRDAVEK@zmail.com.
That is all we need so far. We can decide the next steps once you settle on a property.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ryan, for the assistance. That is the end of part 1. You will now have...
Alright, so this is how you solve part 1 of listening module of IELTS again, and I hope all of you must have solved all the questions that were there. Now the answers for these questions, those I'm going to write in the comment section. You can find all the answers there. Just go down to the comment section and you have all the correct answers. Alright, so I'll meet you all in the next class, and I'll be coming up with many more questions, many more practice tests for you people. Till then, keep on liking my videos, keep on sharing my videos, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it so far. Please do that so that you do not miss out on any video. And I'll meet you all in the next video. Till then, take care everyone. Bye-bye.